A December 1st, 2018, Vancouver International Airport. A woman steps off a plane, unaware she's seconds away from igniting a global firestorm. Her name, Meng Wanzhou, Chief Financial Officer of Huawei, daughter of a man once called the most dangerous businessman alive. As she nears her gate, Canadian authorities surround her. The arrest isn't random. It's the opening move in a high-stakes war. A war not fought with bullets or bombs, but with blacklists, sanctions, and the invisible networks that control our future. From your smartphone, to your power grid, to your military defenses. But why her? Why Huawei? And why now? The answers reveal a hidden battle that's been raging for decades. A battle not just for market dominance, but for the soul of the 21st century. Picture this, a dusty, lawless town at the edge of China. The year 1987, a 43-year-old military engineer, broke, humiliated, laid off from China's downsizing army, rents a tiny office in Shenzhen. His name is Ren Zhengfei. His mission? Simple: survive. With just $5,600 and no products, no patents, and no allies, he founds Huawei. At first, Huawei isn't building anything. They're reselling imported phone switches. Customers laugh them out of meetings. Western giants like Motorola and Ericsson dominate the market, but where others copied, Huawei learned, and where others sold, Huawei built. Fast forward 30 years, and this tiny reseller had connected half the planet, dominated 5G, outpaced Apple in smartphones, and terrified the most powerful government on Earth. How did it happen? How did a company no one took seriously become so powerful that it triggered a new Cold War? The story isn't just about Huawei. It's about how technology itself became the ultimate weapon. At its peak, Huawei wasn't just another tech company. It was the world's largest telecom equipment maker, the second largest smartphone brand, operating in 170 countries, employing nearly 200,000 people, generating over $100 billion a year, and all of it built by one man, Ren Zhengfei. In 1987, he had nothing but ambition. By 2018, he had created a global tech empire, and a threat large enough to spark an international campaign to tear it down. This is the story of how Huawei rose, how it was targeted, and how the battle over its fate could decide the future of technology itself. China, 1987, an economy opening to the world after decades of isolation, a country where most people had never even used a telephone. Into this chaos steps Ren Zhengfei, freshly laid off, nearly bankrupt, but with military discipline and a chip on his shoulder. Huawei's early days were brutal. No customers, no credibility, no tech. They started by reselling secondhand telecom equipment, scraping by. But Ren made one crucial decision most Chinese companies didn't. Huawei wouldn't just copy Western technology, it would outwork everyone and build its own. Employees slept under their desks. Ren worked 16-hour days. They moved not into rich cities, but into rural China, forgotten towns that Western companies ignored. Their promise was simple: we will connect everyone. And they did, building networks in places no one else bothered to touch. By the mid-90s, Huawei wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. And Ren wasn't content with dominating China. He had his eyes on the world. 1999, Huawei opens its first overseas office in India, then Russia, South America, Africa. The strategy was always the same: go where Western companies wouldn't, offer cheaper prices, better service, custom solutions. In Africa, Huawei brought connectivity to countries abandoned by everyone else. In Latin America, they offered financing Western banks wouldn't touch. And in every market, they built relationships with governments, hired local talent, and became indispensable. But the real prize was Europe. Europe's telecom giants, Nokia, Ericsson, Siemens, ruled for decades. Huawei wasn't supposed to stand a chance, but they moved faster, offered better deals, customized products for every local market. Within 5 years, Huawei built much of Eastern Europe's internet backbone. They won major contracts with BT, Deutsche Telekom, and Orange. They had become a global force. And that's when the world started asking, who really controls Huawei? And what are they building toward? In 2003, the first warning shot was fired. Cisco, the American networking giant, sued Huawei, accusing them of copying code down to the typos. Huawei settled quietly, but doubts remained. Intelligence agencies across the West grew uneasy. Was Huawei just a business or an extension of Chinese state power? No one found hard proof. No backdoors, no espionage charges. But Ren's military background, Huawei's shadowy ownership structure, and massive government support fed the paranoia. Meanwhile, Huawei kept growing, outspending, out-innovating, and outmaneuvering its rivals. And then came 5G. 5G isn't just faster internet. It's the foundation for smart cities, autonomous vehicles, military systems, a digital nervous system for modern civilization. Whoever controls it controls the future. And by 2018, Huawei was years ahead. They had the patents, the infrastructure, the momentum. Their competitors weren't even close. And for Washington, it triggered full-scale panic. 5G wasn't about business anymore. It was about national security. In 2019, the US government dropped the hammer. Huawei was blacklisted. American companies were banned from supplying it. No Google, no Qualcomm, no Intel. Huawei's smartphone empire crippled overnight. And the US pressed its allies to ban Huawei from their 5G networks. Australia, Japan, the UK, Canada. Country after country fell in line. Huawei's global empire fractured. December 1st, 2018, Meng Wanzhou is arrested in Canada, formally for sanctions violations. But symbolically, she becomes the face of a deeper war. A war over who would control the technologies shaping the future. Billions in contracts gone. Years of building trust shattered. Huawei, once unstoppable, was isolated, bleeding, cut off from critical supply chains. But it didn't collapse. Inside Huawei's sealed-off campuses, survival turned to reinvention. They couldn't buy chips. They built them. If they couldn't use Android, they created Harmony OS. If they couldn't sell phones, they pivoted to cloud, AI, smart cars, and solar energy. The company America tried to kill was mutating into something new. By 2021, smartphone sales had plummeted, but cloud services up 168%, enterprise solutions up 23%. In China, Huawei wasn't seen as a villain, but a national hero, and the tech world itself splitting in two. Today, Huawei stands at a crossroads, battered, changed, but alive. The US wounded Huawei, but they didn't destroy it. Instead, they accelerated a split. Two internets, two ecosystems, two visions of the future. In the new digital Cold War, there are no easy victories, only adaptations, only survival. And if Huawei's story proves anything, it's that survival can sometimes be the greatest form of resistance. The war for technological supremacy isn't over. It's just beginning. If you want to understand the battles shaping our future, subscribe, because the next war won't be fought with tanks and bombs. It'll be fought with code, networks, and ideas. And you'll want to see it unfold.